Hello everyone, welcome back. We're gonna see if this tree's any good here that's failed. Either way, we've got to get it out of the creek. There's a culvert right down there, and if we leave it in the creek, there's a potential for it to get down there and clog up the culvert. So trying to think and talk at the same time, but what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little bit of it and see if it's fit for firewood, which I don't know whether it is or not. It's been dead a while, but if it is, we'll saw it up firewood. If it's not, we'll just pull it out of the creek and lay it along the creek bank and let it rot. So that's what we're up to today. You can see what we're dealing with. I don't know whether you can see the ice in the creek down there or not, but down in the mid to low teens this morning. So getting a little winter weather finally. But anyhow, we'll get started here and get going. First, we'll talk a little bit about the equipment we're going to use. And I've talked about this in the past, I think, but we'll talk about it again. And the ground is soup. But chainsaw that I use is a Husqvarna 372 XP. Now, I don't remember what year it is. That saw's probably 15, 16 years old, I guess. I've had it a while. At one time in my life, I cut timber for a living. I felled timber is what I done. That was my job. And that's been about 20 years ago. But anyhow, when you get talking about chainsaws, it's like trucks or tractors or whatever else you can think of. It's Stihl or Husky or Ford or Chevy or red or green tractors, you know, just on and on and on and on. But all I can speak for is my personal experience. And when we logged, we had 7 Husky chainsaws. I fell with a Husky 288, had a 32-inch bar on it, and I lugged that thing many miles, and I have no idea how many millions of board feet of timber it put on the ground, but it was up there. We had some smaller saws. I think we had a little bitty 51 Husky. We had 261, 262. We have 4 of these. We have 4 372s. They were our primary saw. Now, of all, I can't remember whether it's 6 or 7. It might have been 6. Of all the saws that we had that were Huskies, they were never in the shop for very much at all, except for one of them. And I think it was a 262. And that thing was a stinking lemon. We'd leave it laying on the back of the truck. We'd go to the parts store, or supply store, or stop and get something to eat, hoping somebody would steal the stupid thing. It stayed in the shop more than it stayed in the woods. But other than that, had really good service out of these saws. I'm running 24-inch bar on it. People talk about different bar lengths, whatever. Saw handles it. I like 24-inch bar. I have my reasons for it. But another thing we always done on our saws, they're 2-stroke, of course. Recommendation is a 50-to-1 mix. We always went just a little heavier than that, probably closer to a 40-to-1 mix. A little more oil than gas, and seemed to work. That 288, man, like I said, that thing spent many hours fallen trees, which is pretty hard service. But these 372s we use for bucking and limbing and stuff like that, and actually probably have more hours on them than the 288. But anyhow, that's my preferred chainsaw. Not that it matters to anyone, but I like them. I like a steel too. My dad has a John Sered, an older saw that is a cutting saw. But anyhow, that's a little bit about Husky. This is not a promotional video for Husqvarna. You know, it's not. It's what I use. It's what I like. Would I buy a steel in a heartbeat? Yes, I would. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. All right, so we're going to get that thing fired up and make some chips fly here. Okay, we cut a couple pieces of it and looked at it. There's nothing wrong with it as far as firewood. It's still sound. I mean, you got some decay on the outside, but it's a dry decay. In other words, you know, it isn't rot. It's more of a dry rot, if you will. But that should burn just fine. Now you can see here, that piece on the end, you get this, it's just a soft wood. That will not burn. It may burn, but it ain't gonna produce any heat. And this wood may be so dry that we have to mix a little green in with it, but that's fine too. But anyhow, a lot of times you'll run into that in a dead tree. If and I had walked around there and looked at the tree where it fell before I started cutting on it, and basically it had uprooted. The tree had died and the roots had quit. You know, the roots had rotted, so the whole thing fell over. Usually that's a good indication that the body of the tree is still pretty sound. Whereas if the tree is broken off, it's probably a, you know, the root's still in the ground. It's probably the tree's probably too rotten for firewood or anything like that. So what we're going to do now is go get the tractor and see if we can snake that thing across the creek. Get it across the creek, we'll start sawing it up. But if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit that little notification bell. See a video you like, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.